Logitech.
Do we have sound now? Sound now. Sound should be working now. Okay, I think the sound is working now. I can see the little thing moving on my screen. Still getting used to all this live stream stuff. I'm not technically the most proficient with all this stuff yet, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Does it? Okay, we're good. We're good, everybody. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your patience. Hope you guys are having a good week. I said that like 4 times already. The brain is a little slow at this time of day. Happy Saturday, working now. There we go. Audio is on. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. Well, I don't know where to start with this live stream. Last week, if you guys tuned in, you noticed that I wasn't streaming from my regular location. I was in Okinawa with my wife and family, and we were having a little bit of a holiday. And we did the first live soak, the live ocean soak of my solid black salvages, the first raw denim live soak ever, I think. I did notice later on, like after when I watched the replay, that the video quality crapped out. Sorry about that. We were really out in the middle of nowhere, and that's what you get for cell phone reception, I guess. So, we were live streaming on data, and we were really, really out there. So there were places where we were like, for anybody who's been to Okinawa, there's like kind of a main city, Naha, and we were really out in the countryside. Like we were like an hour and a half out there. So there are a lot of places out there, no cell phone service, but I think you guys got most of the gist of it. I have to post photos of the fade results, but I do have the jeans right here, and I have to say that, you know what, they faded. And for a this is almost, we're coming up on a year of fading these jeans, and you can see, I mean, the transformation is pretty impressive. One thing that I did notice from the ocean soak is if you can see it, maybe you can't see it, but I got a lot more vertical lines going down the front pocket area. I guess that's where I was grinding the sand in the most. Maybe we can see that. It's kind of hard to tell, but there was a little bit more vertical kind of streakiness going on in there. But I think overall, I mean, the jeans have faded quite nicely for a year's worth of wear. I mean, look at them. It looks like they need to be ironed. These have been sitting on my floor for the last couple of days. So, but yeah, you can see that they've been in the washing machine. I got these like spider vein, kind of marbling kind of effects going on here as well. I personally like it. I think it adds a lot of character here. I just did a fade review video yesterday. I just put one up. I definitely need to do these. I need to do my my left-hand twills, but I think it's a good idea to do this jean because this is my Indigo Invitational pair, and maybe just as a tribute to the Indigo Invitational, I'll do a fade review on my Indigo Invitational pair. So yeah, let's check out the questions here. See if we've got any questions that need answering. Let's see. Fossil Draws writes, every anime has the obligatory beach vacation episode. Beach vacations are definitely a big part of Japanese life. There's no question about that. Also, if you notice, there's a lot of plants in my hallway here. There's a typhoon going on in Japan right now. So I had to bring all my plants in from the balcony. It's been raining since like midnight last night up until like a few minutes ago. The rain just let up for the first time, so hopefully it stays a little bit quiet. But at some point, I'm pretty sure you're going to start to hear the rain pouring. But we're going to be safe. Don't worry about that. Green Giant 6 writes, Elephant X is out and can't wait to get a pair I'm at Tate and Yoko. The excitement is real. Yes, the Elephant X just came out. I also put out an Elephant X video this week. And for some of you who, there's a few of you out there who don't watch these live streams regularly, and that's normal. I mean, look, it's a 2-hour live stream every Friday. I can't expect everybody to watch them every week. But if you are a regular viewer of the live streams, you know that I show off a lot of stuff really early, and I showed off the Elephant XS. Wait, X and S? Something like that? I don't know. The Elephant XS, showed that off several times, and that is the stretch version of our Elephant denim. So I did, announce it a little bit in our Elephant X video. So if you guys are, if you're tuning in now, and this is one of your first times watching the live stream, know that we do show off a lot of stuff pretty early. You get the inside track here on Instagram, on YouTube, our YouTube videos. You're kind of getting like the up to the date information. And in the live streams, you're going to get the real juicy early details. So stick around. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot about what's going on with us. But you'll probably learn a lot, too. I do tend to give out a lot of... I do answer a lot of denim-related questions, for sure. Turf Bob 86 writes, like when the Brady Bunch went to Hawaii. I don't think I caught that episode of the Brady Bunch. I watched it. I didn't. Brady Bunch. Obviously, I don't know. Obviously, I'm 38 years old today. Actually, it's my birthday. But when I was a kid, Brady Bunch was on mostly in reruns, and I think I watched The Partridge Family more than I ever watched the Brady Bunch. I also watched Leave It to Beaver a lot. For some reason, I really enjoyed Leave It to Beaver. The Beav. Brandog 124 writes, how does the patch look on the solid black selvage? It's holding up. I mean, you can see right here, it's doing a pretty good job. You could fully make it out still. It's pretty supple. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's aging, but you can still make out the logo and everything really nicely. Maximus writes, any news on the next anime-based collab? So, the anime collab that is not confirmed, nothing, very slow. Very slow. We're basically just waiting back. Like every week they'll send us a question, like a very small question, and we answer, and they're like, okay, hold on. I think, because the way it's kind of working is like we're working with the American team and they have to work with the Japan team. So there's these layers of command that everybody has to go through. And I don't know, apparently Japan is being slow. And that's what America's telling us. So they're maybe because we're not a huge corporation, they're just not, they're like, who are these people? They just want to make sure that we're not some fly-by-night whatever. But anyways, we're working on it. We're still actively working on it, but the longer this kind of approval process takes, we were hoping to maybe have something for spring-summer 22, but I don't know if that's going to happen at this point. Another interesting, outreach we had was for, I mean, I can talk about it. So you guys know we did the Toxic Avenger collaboration with Trauma Films. So there is a new Toxic Avenger movie coming, and that's going to be done by Legendary Pictures. And they reached out to see if we wanted to do something for that version of Toxic Avenger. And as you guys know, I'm a lifelong Toxic Avenger fan. But we didn't say no, but we didn't say yes either. We were just like, we're not sure. I'm sure we could. We said we kind of already did it, so we don't know if we should be doing it again. But So I guess maybe we said no, but I'm sure if we reach back out to them, we could say yes. So I'm not really sure if we want to do that or not. It just kind of feels like we did it. I'm really happy with what we did, and I don't know what we would do for another one. I really think we nailed that one on the head. Like, I think we got it perfect. So I don't know. Maybe yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of leave that one, I guess. A lot of happy birthday messages. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm happy to spend my birthday with you guys. Bluest Blue writes, happy birthday. I'm new to raw denim. With the overdye on the crimson sky, will the dye transfer to light-colored upholstery and light-colored shoes? Thanks. With all raw denim, regardless of whether or not they've been overdyed or not, and in fact, pretty much all denim, even if you bought a pair of, stonewashed blue jeans, some indigo transfer is going to happen. That's just the nature of indigo. It fades. If you're like light colored upholstery, I would be careful around it. Like if it's a white couch, I would be careful around it. Especially if the fabric is wet. You're going to get the most dye transfer if the fabric is, maybe you wiped your hands on it or something, it's, whatever. If the fabric is wet, you're going to get the most dye transfer from there. Light colored shoes, yeah. I mean, if you're wearing like a canvas Converse, you're probably going to get some indigo transfer, on the sneakers. The beauty of a canvas sneaker is that you can wash it. And the indigo, whatever indigo transfers does wash off. So you can, kind of feel a little bit safe there. But yeah, that's the nature of the game with raw denim, especially with something new. When they're new, they're going to be fading the most. At the end of the day, when you've been wearing a pair of brand new raw jeans, your hands are going to be really blue because, you don't even realize it. But in life, you touch your legs a lot, you touch your pants a lot, and your hands just end up with tons of indigo on them. And, you're going to be washing your hands at the end of the day, and it's just like this blue soap. So, yeah, when they're new, you got to be careful. There's no avoiding it. But some people are like very worried about that, but it's all jeans. Raw jeans a little bit more, but all jeans are going to transfer. It's just all blue jeans rather are going to transfer color, whether or not they're raw or they're washed. It's just the nature of the game. Edwin Chatham writes, "What anime is it? One Punch Man?" It's not One Punch Man. I will not say what it is because I don't want to jinx anything. So those who know. Maybe someone's going to write it in the comments what it is that we're working on, but I'm going to leave it at that. And yeah, we're going to keep our fingers crossed. Okay. L was here writes, when is the new Rainbow Core coming out? Spring, summer 22. I don't have a release date yet. I don't have a release date for anything for Spring Summer 22 yet. I'll probably have that, maybe sometime in December, early January. We'll be able to announce that. Yeah, I was this week. I was just putting together some information for our graphic designer to start designing the pocket flasher for that one. We've been using kind of the same Rainbow Core pocket flasher for a while, so I thought maybe it might be a good time to change it up. But yeah, the new Rainbow Core, it's going to be called the new Rainbow Core, will be coming out in the new year, Spring Summer 22. It will be the same fabric base as the current core color denim options, but this time we've got all the colors of the rainbow. All of them injected in. So they're going to fade pretty awesome. For those people who remember the original Rainbow Core, that's been a long sought after pair for those people who maybe weren't around when that first came out. Get a lot of requests for that. I get a lot of requests for that, and then I also get a lot of requests for like different elephant jeans from the Elephant series. And to that, I'll say, like, at some point we're probably gonna have to reissue more elephant options. Elephant 3 and Elephant 4 have been coming up a lot lately. So yeah, it's all in the works. It's all in the works. Josh Edwards writes, "Hey guys, hey Bahzad." Hey Josh Edwards, thanks for tuning in, thanks for hanging out. And to anybody who hasn't already hit that like button, hit that like button. It helps, engagement, and it helps other people get visibility on these videos. And if you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button. We got a little subscribe animation that'll play when you do. A little thank you from me. We're still trying to get to 10,000 subs. We are at like 6,300 subs right now, so we're growing. Thanks so much for being part of that growth. But I want to get to 10K. 10K is some kind of goal. I don't know what I have to do to achieve that. Probably more videos, which aren't easy, by the way. I have, as someone who, this is part of it. It really is part of my job. It's not really part of my job. I don't have to do these things. I just kind of like doing them. But for someone who works like a zillion hours a week, and then I also have to make all the videos, it's a lot. And just trying to keep content coming. It's not an easy task. I watch these YouTubers who are putting out like videos constantly. It's pretty impressive that they're able to do that, have a nice production value. I know some people, that's their full-time job, so obviously they've got a little bit more time to put that stuff together. But I put out 3-minute videos, and it takes me few hours to put all that together. So it's not easy. It's not easy. But I like learning the skills. It's sometimes I'm frustrated with how long it takes me, and I guess that's just how long it takes. But I like to be efficient. All right. Crumpets writes, "What's the process like of creating letters in the selvage? Is it difficult to do? Like the vulgar selvage or things like that?" It's not particularly difficult to do. It's just a matter of the machine's availability. Not every mill has the ability to do jacquard on Selvage ID. And so long as they have the machine, it's doable. And so you have to have the machine, and the machine has to be available. And that's pretty much it. And then the other difficulty is that that machine can't do heavyweight stuff. So a 21-ounce vulgar probably isn't going to happen unless the thing is, these machines, they might be able to do that stuff, but they don't want to risk damaging the machine or because if that machine is down for a day, that's a whole day of that's a whole day that machine is not making fabric for them, and every minute counts for them. So those machines have to be running at optimal times. So there's certain things that they just don't want to do because they don't want to mess things up for themselves. It's just not worth it. So I guess those are the challenges with jacquard on embroidery, jacquard on Selvage ID. C. Sanchez writes, "Happy birthday, Bahzad." Thank you very much. A couple of streams ago, you mentioned that there will be a Sumi Ink 2. How will it differ from the Sumi Ink 1 slub? I don't know. I just know that we're going to do one. I don't think we've fully decided on the fabric base yet. So stay tuned for that. Nicholas B.O. writes, "I'll do it for 2 Canadian tuxedos a month." I'm not sure what you do for that. I don't even see your original content or comment, so I'm just assuming you like wearing Canadian tuxedos. Good man. Fossil Draws writes, "Bahzad, could you run a contest asking us to make Naked and Famous ads and reward winners with products?" I don't know. Here's the thing. The more stuff I have to organize, the less time I have to live, and I already live like this much. It's a lot. Trust me, my day is like wake up, sit at the computer, and then when 1 a.m. rolls around, I'm done. And in between, I might eat. That's about it. Like, my days are really, they're so long. And, yeah. It's like, people ask me for fade contests. I'm like, I want to, but Indigo Invitational does a great fade contest. I'm going to let them handle it. Unless I can find the time somehow, some way to do that. I'm just going to, someone is doing a good job doing it. We can sponsor it. Cool. Fossil Jaws writes, living is important. Living is important. It's, I have a lot of living to catch up on. But yeah, I do want to, if we can run contests and stuff for you guys, I would love to do it, but gotta get the only time I ever have to like really do anything is when I put in a mega long day and I just do like 3 days worth of work in one day, and then the next 2 days I can just kind of take it a little bit easier. But Lord knows that all kinds of stuff pop up. But that's just the way it is. It's just the way that's the way I'm living. SXZHOU. I don't know how to pronounce that. Xiao. Sorry. How do you like YouTube versus Instagram for these streams? I like YouTube because, number one, I've got better optics. My camera is, I've got a better setup here, better audio, better camera. That's great. I would say that maybe for some people who are tuning in for like 2 hours, the entire thing might be a little bit boring because it's a little stagnant. I was really on the move a lot. But the other thing that I like about YouTube is that instantly the video is available on YouTube for you guys to consume. Whereas with Instagram, it would be saved on Instagram Live on like my IG stories or whatever. And people could watch it, but I just get the sense that most people aren't going to watch an entire 2-hour live stream on their phone like this. So it's a little bit, difficult to get, the people who missed it, maybe they're not going to be so inclined to watch it, in that way. So I would have to rip the videos from Instagram, put them in the Premiere, make them 16:9, and then re-encode it and upload it. And because that was like a 2-hour stream, the encoding process was like 8 hours, maybe more. It just took forever. And then I'd have to upload it to YouTube. So it was just like a long process to get that video onto YouTube for you guys to watch in a format that's a little bit easier to consume. You can watch this on your phone, you watch this on your television, you can just put it on the background. It's a lot easier. So I prefer YouTube for this type of stuff. Yeah, it's a much better environment for something like this. I wish there was a way for me to live stream here and on Instagram at the same time. That would be kind of cool. But I guess the good people at Facebook and Google need to start talking to each other a little bit more. Metal Plague 89 writes, Jason Voorhees pair on hand to show us? Yeah, I'll show you that today. I have a pair behind me. Pedro Cortez writes, when's the last time you took some time off? Last week when we took, we took 4 days off, but they weren't really off because even though we were on holiday, we still had our laptops at night, making sure that everything's getting done. So, taking a full day off, I don't know, it's been like 15 years. I have no idea when the last day I had off was. The last time I took a day off, like no work, nothing, full day off. Full day off. Probably like 2008. 2008 when that's the last time I took a day off. It's probably also the last time I got a haircut. But I don't take days off. There's no days off. Kentaro, you should do a day in the life video, Bahzad. I do want to do that. I kind of want, like, if I had time, I kind of do want to start making vlogs. I don't know. I watch a lot of vlogs on YouTube, so they're kind of interesting. Maybe I'm being a little. Maybe I feel like my life might be interesting for people, so that's maybe arrogance. But I don't know. I see, like the vlogs I tend to like are, typically ordinary people doing their jobs and talking about their life, and they're just kind of fascinating. Okay. Fossil Draws writes, I wish the chat wasn't so delayed. By the time Bahzad gets to the comments, he's usually done talking about the relevant topic. See, I can make the chat and the video stream kind of line up a little bit more, but when I do that, the video quality goes down, so it's maybe up to you guys if you'd rather have better video quality or a faster chat response. I can't change it right now, but I can certainly change it for next week. Let me know. Sebastian Pilj writes, after the intangible cultural salvage and the upcoming King of Lords, what's the next Naked Famous as far as high-end heritage denim re-release? As far as high-end heritage denim, what's the next release? Re-releases of these more involved pieces like MIJ8. So basically, what is the next mega high-end piece? I don't know. It's the next like really out there denim. We'll have to wait and see. We haven't planned that yet. So it's just basically. I mean, our planning process is like right now we're finishing up spring, fall, winter 22. So that's happening, and then we're gonna have to plan. We're gonna have to line up, whatever the capsule collection is going to be for that season. Which might be the unnamed one, so that might happen for that. Then we'll have to do an MIJ planning. So there's just so much. There's a lot of product that is being developed at any given time. So sometimes it's not set, but when we're focused on it, we will achieve that. But I don't offhand. I don't. There's nothing that comes to mind as far as what we're working on for that particular next level super high end model. Metal Plague writes, Jason Voorhees and the Freddy Krueger might be his next pair. The Jason Friday the 13th. Nicholas B.O. writes, LOL, yeah, I figured it was a bit of lag. Yeah, it there's a bit of lag, and I guess that's just to make sure the video quality is up. So maybe I'll try to balance that out a little bit next week so that we have the conversation is a little bit smoother with the comments. Branddog124 writes, the next cat shirt should be cats with mustaches on cowboy hats. We will find the next crazy cat shirt for you guys, but we got the yoga cats this season. I think that one's a lot of fun. Sebastian Pillage writes, thanks for addressing my questions. Wild hearing my name come out of your mouth. LMAO. Hey man, we're here. I try to answer as many questions as I can. If I missed your question, just ask it again. We'll try to get that answered for you. But yeah, we're a community here. We're a big old family here. So it's my pleasure. Richard Meza writes, does the Vulgar 3 jacket shrink? I was looking at getting a medium as smalls are sold out. They shouldn't shrink much, if at all. My answer to that is, with a lot of denim jackets, we're often wearing hoodies, or you're wearing it in the fall, so you might be wearing a hoodie or something underneath. So it's nice to have a little bit of room in there. If you're having trouble finding a small, check out the blog post on nakedandfamousdenim.com. Go to the news section. We got a blog post there for all of the releases. And in those blog posts, we have a full listing of all the retailer availability. So not only do we have the retailers that carry that product, but we also have it by fit. So just look through any of the retailers that have the denim jacket available, and you might be able to find a small that way. If indeed you actually need the small, you might feel better in the medium if you're going to be layering, but anyways, it's up to you. Fossil Jaws writes, idea, flannel line selvage. With stores at NYC and Montreal, I think they would be popular. We actually did a flannel line selvage. We back in the early days of Naked Famous, we did a lot of like lined denim. I think that was pretty popular for us. So we did actually do a bunch of lined fabrics. I wouldn't mind doing another like a blanket lined denim or blanket lined denim jacket. That's something I think we could do down the line. John G writes, do you have any plans on re-releasing a Sherpa denim jacket? Yes, I really want to. I will plan to have one for fall winter 22. It's too late to do it right now because by the time it's done, like if I put it into production now, by the time it's done, it'll probably be like November-ish, and it might be a little bit late in the season for that. Okay, I'm just gonna pull out a pair of the Jason, the Friday the 13th jeans to show off. I think I might have the sample fabric of the Nightmare on Elm Street in there. If I do, I'll show that off. If not, next week. I'll have it next week. And then I've got the Matrix fabrics to show you guys. They just announced the new Matrix movie, so that's pretty cool. I did not anticipate that the Matrix jeans for us, we were aiming to have them for like end November, December. That's just, I don't have like a solid release date for them yet, but they just announced the movie, and the movie is going to be coming out in December, so it's like really perfect timing for everything. So we didn't plan that, and it just worked out that way. So I guess we're lucky. Very exciting to see a new Matrix. So it's been 20 years. More than that. That came out. The original Matrix came out in 1999. It's been over 20 years. I remember watching all of the Matrix movies in theaters. It's kind of nuts. Crescendo writes, I'd love a Naked Famous denim Sherpa jacket. We will bring them back, I promise you. Pedro Cortez writes, I can't stop watching the trailer. It's so sick. Well, you know what? Let me show the Matrix fabric off first, then I'll show off the Friday the 13th. So, for the Matrix, we've got two fabrics that are going to be available. One is this Falling Code denim. So, it's a slubby black, all black, appropriately for the Matrix. And then we've got this Falling Code in metallic on the selvage. I just want to make sure it's focused nicely. So you can see that you get that Falling Code, that classic Matrix look here on the Selvage ID. A great cuff flipper, by the way. So it's subtle enough, and for this jean, we're not doing a back pocket embroidery. So it's going to be even more subtle than some of our other collaboration items. The pocket flasher is going to be a leather patch, black, with the Matrix code kind of in, obviously in the green, stamped in. So you've got this kind of metallic yarn. So it kind of has a bit of shine, so it kind of, looks like the code itself, like in the movies, and not just green. There is a metallicness to this. Might be hard to see here, but, at some point I'll post proper photos. So that is the Matrix code denim. And then we've got this fabric right here, which is the craziest. And this is the Free Will denim. So this is... We're calling it the Free Will Selvage. So you can see here the Selvedge IDs. You've got the blue and red, so blue pill, red pill, right? But you won't actually see it. Like when the jeans are done, you know, the edges of the fabric are folded over, so you won't really see that. Like you can kind of peek through and see it, but this denim is coated with like a leather coating, and you can see that, you know, on the edge you're not really gonna see it. When the fabric fades, you'll start to see it, and what's gonna happen is this leather coating is gonna break away, and it's gonna reveal the denim underneath. So it's like the matrix is revealing the denim. Like that's kind of the idea. We wanted something that was gonna like fade away and dissolve. So that's basically what's gonna be happening here. You've got this leather, the matrix, that will fade away to reveal the denim, Naked and Famous, and then you've got the blue pill and the red pill on the Selvedge IDs. You know, just as a major theme of the matrix. You know, so that is the new matrix denim that's going to be coming out holiday this year. C. Sanchez writes, free will jacket. Yes. So there will be a free will jacket, but there will not be a... I could probably get it done. There won't be the matrix code. We're not going to do that in a jacket, but the free will denim will be in a jacket. I'm only going to make like a small quantity, like 20, 25 units. Not a lot. In fact, this is going to be a very small... This is going to be a very small release. It's going to be a pretty small release. So, yeah. Watch out for that. I don't know what the final quantities are, but I will announce them, and it's not going to be like this won't be it's not going to be like Akuma where we did like 50 pairs, but it will be a smaller release. Less than 300 units. So, yeah, if you want them, you got to get these. Fossil draws. I want Lawrence Fishburne to have a cameo. Doesn't feel right that he's not Morpheus. I don't know if the character in the movie was Morpheus. Did they? I've only watched the trailer, and I'm not interested in learning anything more than what is revealed in the trailer. So I don't know if that is Morpheus or not. Maybe it's a young Morpheus. I don't know. I have no idea. I want to go into that movie fresh. I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to be spoiled by like anything. I love going into a movie. I don't want to know anything about it other than what the trailer has shown me, and that's it. I want to go in as fresh as possible. I don't want to be jaded or swayed in any way by gossip on the internet. Todd Hackett writes, off topic, but will the Loom State be re-released? Probably not re-released, but I know we still have a little bit of stock in those, so maybe check that out. At some point we'll do another version of it, but that exact version probably not. Okay. Pedro Cortez writes, I'm not a fan of black jeans, but I think I need these. You know, black jeans, they're man, I'm a fan. My solid blacks, I think I might convert some more people over into black once I've got some good photos of these going. But fade a pair of black jeans. It's you know what? I've been fading. To be fair, I faded black jeans before. I wore the black power stretch a lot over the years. I enjoy wearing black jeans. I do wear them a lot. I would say that maybe over the last like decade or so, I probably wore black jeans, I don't know, maybe like 30% of the time. It's definitely a part of my regular rotation. Okay. Anything new in unbranded? Good question. We did a teaser post on the unbranded Instagram just the other day, so that's new. No release date yet, no information yet. Stay tuned. But there is a new unbranded jean coming this year. Pedro Cortez writes, Free Will Selvedge. Ooh, that's a good name. It's that's I guess the I'm trying to think of the word, but I mean that's the crux of the Matrix. Do you want to have your eyes open? Do you want to see the depravity of the world, or would you rather just live happily, or maybe not even happily, but be willingly ignorant? You're not even willingly ignorant. You just don't know. I mean, that's what was his name in the first one? It wasn't Cypher, but the one character who wanted to go back in. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen that there was an extra scene from an episode of The Office where Jim sets up this scenario for Dwight as if he's in the Matrix, and it's kind of like that the Morpheus scene with the two pills, and Dwight picks the blue pill. He's like, nope, you know what? I got a good thing going right here. I'm staying right here, and it's a very interesting proposition. Which pill would you take? That's a tough question. And neither one is you can't fault anybody for either one of those situations. It's that's the scary. I mean, that's the scary part of the Matrix for me. It's less so the fact that the humans are basically energy pods for this civilization of robots, but do you live your life in fear and terror of that, or do you just move on and be willingly blissful? Who knows? What pill would you take? I think I would take the red pill. I want to be Neo. All right. Nicholas B.O. writes, when he faxed Dwight that the coffee was poisoned, LMAO. Man, I love the shows that I watch are, I watch The Office, watching Seinfeld a lot these days. But I watch the shows that I watch, and I don't even watch anything new. Richard Meza writes, did I miss anything new on the anime collab? Nothing new except for the fact that we are still waiting on confirmations and that it's a very slow process for us. But hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works out. So we're still in the confirmation phase. Okay, I'm going to pull out the Jason denim, and I'm going to see if I have the Nightmare on Elm Street fabric back there, and I'll show that off for a second. So give me 1 second, guys. Got it. All right, everybody. I know I've been showing off fabrics, so let's continue showing off fabrics. This is going to be the Nightmare on Elm Street denim. So you've got indigo with a red weft, and the green is actually coating. So you've got a green coating with a red weft. So that way, when if we were to do this kind of like an alternating weft color, you would see the green showing through the front face of the fabric, and then it would really look like stripy pants instead of like a red wefted denim. So like the warm red weft tone, I think, is a little bit more palatable for most people. If you like colored wefts, then this is definitely, red weft is probably the most popular. So then you've got the green, so just like Freddy's sweater. So when you roll the cuff up, that's how it's gonna look. I think it's gonna look pretty badass. The Selvedge ID red line maybe hard to see here, but that's it. That is the Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street denim. This is coming. I don't think we're gonna have it by Halloween, but maybe shortly after. But on track for its October 22nd release is the Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees Selvedge. This is a red casted heavyweight denim, super heavyweight. I believe these are 20 or 21 ounce beefy denim. You've got the Jason mask here embroidered on the back pocket. You've got Jason here on the leather patch. The denim itself is just super, super beefy. And we did post some photos online already. If you guys, I think red toned denims are a little bit harder for people to see. But let me show it against a typical indigo denim, and it might be a little more visible. So here is a, can you guys see the slight variation in tone? Like, should be a little bit warmer looking. But yeah, that is the red cast denim. We wanted to have kind of a bloody theme with this fabric. So red casted 21 ounce super heavyweight denim. I think it really matches Jason's persona quite nicely. So that's coming out in a couple of weeks. This will be available on October 22nd. So coming very soon. Brand Dog 124 writes, the leather patch looks a little silly on the Jason jeans, LOL. For the horror collection, we wanted to have scenes from the movies. So we pulled. This is the first time we ever did like a full color printed patch. So yeah. Anyways, it's a little bit different than the norm. I think it's pretty cool. It's like when the pocket flasher isn't there, you're gonna have less triple Jason on the back. But yeah. Okay. Louis Cicada writes, sorry, not the best with names. I apologize. My eyes are exploding since I'm colorblind. I'm very sorry about that. Especially maybe the stripy one is giving me a little bit of problems. Apologize for the eye explosions. That might be a fun Jason Voorhees kill. Eye explosions. Will Freddy get the cool pocket bags too? Yes. Oh yeah. Jeez. How did I forget? Okay. The other thing about the Jason denim, it's going to be a little bit harder to show this off. But if you go to the blog post, you'll see the photos. We've got these great pocket bags. So you've got Jason here, kind of stock. Very difficult to show here. You're gonna have to see the photo on our. I don't want to wreck the pocket flasher, so I'm gotta be a little careful with this. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it well here, but you've got Jason just kind of here by the lake in the forest, stalking his victim. This yeah. So that's the kind of fun, one of the fun details of this jean. For Nightmare, it's gonna be like Freddy's fried skin. It's gonna be crazy. Coming soon. Ad Harsh Pen Rurslavim. Butchered that for sure. Sorry about that. What's the difference between the Hyperflex Selvage and the Flex Selvage? Just the name. There was a naming issue, so we had to change the name. So it's now just the Flex Selvage. Brand Dog 124 writes, anybody watch the new kill counts of Friday the 13th? Kill counts? Oh, I know there's a YouTube channel. I mean, there's a lot of horror YouTube channels, and maybe you're referring to one of those videos where they talk about all the kills of different horror movie villains. Are they villains anymore? I mean, they are, but we're kind of rooting for them, aren't we? It's kind of funny. It's not a genre you can explain to like non-horror fans, I guess. Like, oh yeah, what's the story of Friday the 13th? I mean, there is one. What's canon and what's not canon? We just want to watch. We just want to watch violence. I mean, that's pretty much it. In your opinion, Pedro Cortez writes, in your opinion, is the AUG Selvage more or less stretchy than the Hyperflex? The Hyperflex, the Flex Selvage, so just the Flex Selvage, is the stretchiest. There's nothing stretchier than that fabric. That is the stretchiest fabric. Do you have a sample of the Meteor Selvedge on hand? Angry Mike 88 writes, I do. You know what? Let me show that off. I must. There it is. Let's go over these two because these ones are really fun. Hold on a second. There we go. I love the pocket flasher for the Meteor Selvedge. So, kind of the two non-indigo releases of the season are the Meteor Selvedge, which is this guy right here. Look at that pocket flasher. Isn't it a great pocket flasher? Really, really beautiful design. I really appreciate that. We've got a great graphic designer. Does these like vintage style designs for us. Mwah, perfect. But the Meteor Selvedge, we've got this heather grade toned denim. Really nice. I mean, if you get a close look at the fabric, you can see, it's not a solid gray. You've got like these flecks in the fabric as well. It kind of reminds me of a sweatpant, the way that they look, but gray, I think it's just a nice, again, like black, it's just a great indigo alternative. They're dressy, they're casual. You can wear them with pretty much anything. Black boots especially, I think, are going to look great. Flannels. So a nice wardrobe essential. A lot of us, we have a lot of indigo jeans, and sometimes it's nice to just change things up. So having a nice pair of gray jeans, black jeans, or, getting into like this kind of like workwear, kind of world. And so we've got the Harvest Selvedge. This is coming out. I have to check the release dates. I don't remember, but coming out very soon. Again, you've got this kind of wheat colored denim. It's got these great neps in the fabric as well. You can see that's actually the cotton seed that's still remaining in the fabric. So just a great indigo alternative. This is gonna look really, really great with black boots. This is gonna look really, really great with like reddish tone brown boots. So two really good indigo alternatives coming at you this season. The Harvest Selvedge. Check out that pocket flasher. There you have it. So yeah, if you had to build like, maybe there isn't a term for it. Like, there's everyday carry and like, buy it for life kind of stuff. If your wardrobe consisted of gray, kind of this wheat kind of colored, workwear style denim, indigo and black, you're pretty much covered for the rest of your life. You've got everything. You've got everything you need right there. So Uh, I would, this, the duck canvas, you can't go wrong with something like that. Okay. Branddog124 writes, Risa in the back drinking coffee. Yeah, she's getting up. It's still early out here in the land of the rising sun. What else do we got? Richard Meza writes, I love all the 80s horror movies. Todd Hackett writes, Richard Meza, who doesn't? You know who doesn't? Girls. Generally, I'm not saying all girls, but generally speaking, girls don't. I don't know why. Like, horror movies are such a generally, again, very general. Of course, there are girls who like this stuff, don't get me wrong, but it's odd, like, it's like how rom-coms are girl things generally. Like, I don't know any guy who's like, man, I really want to watch a real good rom-com right now. Rom-coms are for women generally, and horror movies are generally for guys. Don't know why it is. I guess men like violence and women like romance. It's I guess. I don't know. Don't ask me. Somebody, you know what? Somebody needs to put the two together, and that's the ultimate date night movie. Nobody is gonna be happy. That's compromise for you. Nobody wins with compromise. It's just that would be the worst. At least if you went to a horror movie with your partner, if you're a guy, you're going out with a girl, and she doesn't like horror movies, at least one of you is gonna enjoy the movie. Generally speaking, again, very general. I don't want to disparage anybody. If you're a guy who doesn't particularly care for rom-coms and you go with your female significant other to a rom-com film, one of you is going to enjoy the movie. But if somebody put those two genres together, nobody's happy. Nobody's happy. Best rom-com is Tromeo and Julia. Tromeo and Juliet. Tromeo and Juliet. I don't know. Again, I think trauma films, again, unless you're like a, of the, I think any girl who enjoys horror movies would definitely love trauma movies, but I think in general, trauma movies don't have the same appeal to women as they do to men. It's, yeah. Jose Rivera III writes, my wife loves horror movies. My wife does not. And she'll watch them with me, but yeah, they're certainly not her favorite. Maximus writes, isn't that called Twilight? I've never watched a Twilight movie. I guess so. Maybe for a while, werewolves and vampires were certainly a girl thing. Generally, I don't want to get in trouble. Generally speaking, yeah. Electric Bamboogaloo 2 is Kabuki Man considered a horror movie? Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD, is it considered a horror movie? I don't know if it's considered a horror movie. I was watching a Lloyd Kaufman interview the other day, and a lot of trauma movies have a there's a message to them, and I think he wrote, I forget what he wrote. He said about Sergeant Kabuki Man. It's been a while since I watched Sergeant Kabuki Man. It was some kind of criticism of the police. I just don't remember exactly what it was. I'll have to revisit that. Tada Hackett writes, how does Risa feel about Japanese horror movies? She was scarred by The Ring. I think especially when that movie came out, she was probably still in high school or something. That movie would freak you out. So yeah, Japanese horror movies. They, the one, I don't know if this is considered a horror movie or not. I don't know what genre I would put it in, but Battle Royale, that's one of my favorite movies ever. And yeah, if you've never watched Battle Royale, you know what? I gotta show you. this is your movie homework this week. If you have never watched Battle Royale, do yourself a favor and watch Battle Royale. I've got this crazy set. In fact, I already had a set of this, but this is the 4K set. I just bought it because I just wanted to own more Battle Royale stuff. The first one is great. The second one, meh. You don't have to watch it. The first one, definitely, it is must viewing. Is it a horror movie? I don't know if it is. I don't know if I would put it all the way there, but it's terrifying. And Risa told me that when this movie came out in Japan, it got like the equivalent of like NC-17 out here. And for those people who don't know what NC-17 is, that's basically the mark of death for a movie in North America. Like movie theaters won't play it if it's NC-17, though I think the movie theaters did play it out here, but I think it was very like they weren't gonna let kids to come in and watch it, and it was based off of a manga, so I think it was very popular. Risa might have to shed a little bit more light onto that situation, but Pedro Cortez writes, "There's more than one." Yeah, nobody talks about the second one because, nobody needs to talk about the second one, but yeah, Battle Royale, freaky as hell. If you like Kill Bill, which I would imagine most of you do, Gogo, or the actress who played Gogo, her name's Shiaki Kuriyama or something like that. Shiaki Kuriyama. She is in this movie. So if you like Gogo, you get to see her in this film as well. Yeah, she's I guess she's a familiar face for some folks. Todd Hackett writes, "I like it when the guy gets the pot." Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, but I would recommend it. Watch it. Let me know what you guys think next week. Angry Mike 88 writes, "Battle Royale is a mix of all horror, thriller, action." Yeah, it's in a league of its own. I would agree. It is definitely in a league of its own, and it is definitely must watching. I think it is an important movie. It certainly inspired a lot of movies afterwards. There's criticism. I've actually never watched The Hunger Games, but from my understanding is that The Hunger Games is somewhat of maybe it was heavily inspired by Battle Royale. There were also, I think the idea of like, there was I forget what it was called. It had Stone Cold Steve Austin in it. It was like they put prisoners on an island, and like the last guy to survive wins or something like that. You know, the thing about Battle Royale is that the idea of like, I guess, putting people on an island like Survivor style, and like they're gonna fight it out, and the last one to survive wins. Like, that's a palatable movie if you're maybe dealing with bad guys, criminals, okay? But this movie is 7th graders. Like, that's what freaked me out the most about this movie, was that I was in high school when this came out, and it's kids, and you're watching kids turn on kids. Like, you're entering, a day ago you were all best friends, and then the next day you all have to kill each other. And that's the premise of the movie. They put a bunch of kids on an island, and they say, well, only one of you is getting off. And then all hell breaks loose. Todd Hackett writes, The Condemned. Yeah, that's the movie with the Stone Cold Steve Austin. Brandog124 writes, do you like the guinea pig movies? I'm not aware of the guinea pig movies. Sokram718 writes, in reference to Shiaki Kuriyama or Gogo from Kill Bill. She's also in Japanese 24, LOL. I don't know that movie. Maybe I'll have to check that out. I remember this being an early YouTube video online. What movie is that? I'm not sure. Todd Hackett writes, the Ring versus The Grudge was awesome. I haven't seen that yet. There's a whole list. I mean, my movie collection is large, and there's a lot of movies I really gotta catch up on. When I had a life, I was watching movies maybe once or at least once an evening. These days, it's almost down to like once a week. So it's hard to catch up. Jose Riviere III writes, a Devil's Reject collab would be interesting. I wouldn't mind doing some Rob Zombie stuff. That would be kind of cool. He's obviously he's got a great mind for horror. He's a big horror fan. I remember watching a house tour of his home, and he's just got so much cool horror movie stuff. Pedro Cortez writes, Battle Royale, I need to rewatch it. I remember I came across it randomly on Amazon Prime years ago. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's on streaming services. It probably is. Battle Royale was an early YouTube video. Oh, interesting. Electric Bamboogaloo 2 writes, Marvel Comics tried to cash in on that Battle Royale story. They used teen Avengers-related characters and put them on an island, Avengers Arena. Interesting. Yeah, I'm as far as comics, like I haven't been following comics for a long time. It's been a long time. Electric Bamboogaloo 2 Battle Royale should be considered horror. It's definitely like if you were in a movie store, you could easily fit in to the horror section. Thriller section. Thriller? Is it maybe. Captain Spaulding. Captain Spaulding. I don't know. It's Richard Meza writes. Electric Bamboo 2 writes, Bahzad, you may like that Alice in Borderlands live action. Very similar to Battle Royale, too. All right, I'll have to check that out. Alice in Borderlands. I've got my own little homework to do. I gotta catch up on a lot of stuff. SoCram718, still waiting for a US release of the 4K version of Battle Royale. Let me tell you something about 4K discs. They're region free. Generally speaking, I think there's very few exceptions. 4K discs are region free. Non-4K discs are often, they might say that they're region locked, but they just work on players. I can tell you that this 4K disc absolutely works on my Blu-ray player. I have a Panasonic UB820 4K player. It's a good player, and it works. Also, that player, it does do multi-region, like out of the box. There's a look up the top menu trick. Basically, you put the disc in, it'll go to like, oh, it doesn't play in this region. You hit like home, then you hit top menu, and it'll bring you right to the menu of the disc. It just bypasses it somehow. I guess it's like it's a unwritten rule or unwritten secret, some kind of secret knowledge about Panasonic players in general, and they tend to be now it doesn't work for every disc, but almost. I don't think I've had it. No, I've had one disc that it didn't work on in my entire collection. That was like from out of region, but they all play. That's a good player to get. It's a little pricey. If you can get it on sale, all the better. But yeah, if with 4K discs, they all play. Todd Hackett writes, Japanese horror categorization is difficult. Audition and Battle Royale in the same category? Right. It is not easy. There are a lot of movies that are a little like, they bend the genres quite a bit. Audition, I would put it in horror, right? Thriller, horror, I don't know. Yeah, like you don't have the typical boogeyman, right? But you are in this terrifying situation. Brand Dog writes that Rob Zombie, Lord of where do you? I think I missed it. Sorry, I missed the comment. Oh, there it is. That Rob Zombie, Lord of Salem, effing sucks. Lords of Salem. I don't think I've seen that one. The thing about Rob Zombie movies is that they are very gory, like very gory. There's a lot of gore, like that. Sometimes, like a movie that is like really gory, sometimes they use that as the horror, and I would rather be terrified, so to speak. Like the blood and guts are fine, but sometimes there's a lot of it, and that is, obviously it's disturbing, but I'm more disturbed by the situation than anything else. Did you manage to get Donnie Darko 4K from Arrow? I did not. I think I have the original, just Blu-ray somewhere. I didn't get the 4K. Some things I 4K upgrade, some things I don't. Like anything Tarantino that is going to come out, I'm going to get the 4K for sure. I think they just announced Django Unchained 4K. So that'll probably get upgraded. Anyways. Back to denim talk. Sean asks, are there any plans for future drops with more recycled, salvage, organic content? Absolutely. There will be. We are working on that. There will be more for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of movie questions here. I guess we're off topic for a second. Ben writes, did you take post-ocean soak pictures? Not yet. I did show the jeans off. I got them right here a little bit earlier in the stream. I do have to take pictures. The weather's been a little bit gloomy and gray. I just want to make sure, I take the pictures on the right day. Today is, you know what? It's been we're in the middle of a typhoon, and as soon as the stream started, the rain stopped, and it still stopped. It's still been off for a while, but it was been raining for hours and hours and hours all night. Junior writes, I've always been a bigger horror video game fan than a horror movie fan. Interesting. But I do love The Shining. Junior writes, horror video game fan more than a horror movie fan. What are some good horror video games? The Friday the 13th, the game, I played it here and there. I just never got a hang of the controls. I was playing on easy versus the computer, and I still couldn't figure out the game. And I'm not much of a multiplayer guy. Like I just don't have time for that, and I don't like losing. So I stay offline because that's just the way I am these days. Like I guess if you're playing like a team, like a not so much a team shooter but a single player shooter, like these speaking of games, like what I tried to play like Call of Duty Battlegrounds a while ago with Garrett actually, and like the map is enormous, and there's a gajillion players. I'm like, I'm just not interested. I just want a deathmatch, 1v, every man for themselves. That's the kind of game I like. Because even if you lose, you're back in the game right away. You get the weapons that you want. More or less, like you'd find them on the map or whatever. But yeah, is Clockwork Orange horror? Yeah, right. Where does that fit in? It's very, very difficult. Oh, Todd Hackett writes, as far as horror games, Resident Evil. Yeah, I played a lot of Resident Evil. Big fan of Resident Evil. Although I have Resident Evil 6 and I have Resident Evil 7, haven't even opened them yet. I got up to 5, and then I was playing the remakes. I was playing some on my like Nintendo DS. Revelations, I think it was. There's a lot of Resident Evil games now. I can't remember, but I was playing Resident Evil 4 a lot. That one I could play a lot. But yeah, 6 and 7 haven't even got to it. You know what my problem was? 7 came out and it was for PlayStation VR, and I bought the PlayStation version, and I didn't have the VR thing yet, and I thought, oh, maybe I'm going to get it, and then I never got it. And then I have like an Oculus Rift, which I never use. I when it first came out, I used it, but it's been in the box pretty much ever since. And then the PC version wasn't VR compatible, and I just haven't got around to playing. Okay. I like the Fatal Frame series and Silent Hill. The first Resident Evil is my favorite. Yeah, a lot. Resident Evil. Just trying to think if there's any what other game. There was Dino Crisis. Trying trying to think if there's any other games similar to that. For me, yeah, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5. People didn't like Resident Evil 5. I enjoyed Resident Evil 5. I really did. I think I liked the little bit more of the faster paced Resident Evil. Yeah, I like shooting stuff, I guess. Okay. Obviously, we got a lot of horror and video game fans in the audience. I'm happy about that. At some point, maybe it'd be kind of fun to do a Let's Play and we can play some games together. Branddog 124, The Thing, definitely The Thing, John Carpenter, a great movie. I've got a Thing lenticular poster. Speaking, I bought a bunch of posters this week. There was so there's a couple of companies that do like a lot of these like special edition movie posters. Bottleneck Gallery, Vice Press. And they did a Mallrats, Kevin Smith's Mallrats. That's one of my favorite movies. I like Kevin Smith movies in general. But I really liked Mallrats because I myself was a mall rat. And they came out with a Mallrats poster, and there were two variants. There was this cartoon drawing one, and then there was like a hollow foil one. So I bought both. And then the next day, just the thing about these movie posters, if you follow them, they get announced and they're like, oh, it's coming out tomorrow. So you really don't have time to plan any of the stuff. You just got to jump on it because they're all limited and like, they might print 100, 50, 100, 200, like not much. And they did the movie Super with, what's his name? Rainn Wilson from The Office. He played Dwight. So there's James Gunn is the director on that movie. Super. It's a movie a lot of people have never seen, but it's a very, very good movie. And Rainn Wilson plays a superhero, kind of like the movie Kick-Ass. He's a normal guy. Doesn't really have superpowers, but he puts on this superhero persona. And there was this great super poster that I got the other day. And anyways, there's going to be probably a bunch of weeks till I get them. When I get them, I'll show them off. But I got to start putting posters up. My walls are all bare. All right. L. Sanchez, 1984, writes, hey, good evening, good morning for you. 1 week into wearing my black Selvedge chino at work. Fantastic. That's the other thing about black denim is that you can get away with it in a lot more environments than maybe blue jeans can. Although I do find that working environments in North America, offices and things like that, are getting much, much more relaxed. So jeans are becoming more and more part of the everyday office life. With that, I do tend to recommend things with a little bit of stretch in them, if you can. If you're going to be wearing jeans all day, and you're going to be sitting at your desk, you definitely want to be comfortable. I got to do like a guide on the raw denim guide to office apparel. I think we've got a lot of great options for you there. For those people who are back at the office, but even if you're working at home now, you weren't able to wear jeans at work before, now off work at home office, you can wear your raw jeans all day. So I think there's a lot more people wearing raw jeans. It was kind of funny because at the start of the pandemic, there was this like, oh, everyone's wearing sweatpants, and I'm like, Tati, we didn't see. Like, we saw an initial dip in sales just because I think a lot of people were panicked about, like, all the shutdowns and things like that. But, like, we carried through it. I mean, like, we did not see, like, the slowdown of sweatpants taking over. And we were getting more and more people telling us that they were wearing their jeans at home. They couldn't wear their jeans at the office. Now they're wearing jeans at home. They have more opportunity to wear their jeans. So it kind of worked out for us. Santiago Garado writes, can we expect any more flex jeans? The last one you released are super comfy. Yes, watch out for that. We will do, I know we're like very low or pretty much close to out of stock on the flex jeans. So watch out for that. We will get to that. Branddog 124 writes, super is great. The movie line scene with Super is great. The movie line scene with the wrench. Not sure what you were trying to say there, but the movie Super is great. There's your other piece of homework. If you haven't seen Super, go watch Super. Very, very good movie. Todd Hackett writes, it could be Bahzad's favorite alien invasion movie. It stars with wrestler Rowdy Piper. There's a movie called They Live, another John Carpenter movie starring Rowdy Piper. Rest in peace. He was in the first WrestleMania. He fought with who is his tag team partner, Mr. Wonderful, and he fought against Hulk Hogan and Mr. T at WrestleMania 1. He headlined the show. Got a pair of Forever Blue for work. Wish it can be core. I think we have to make a Forever Blue a core product. Yeah, like a reactive dyed no fade denim for a core. I think that's due to become a core item. Todd Hackett writes, the company Obey is based off the movie. Yeah, they took a photo of Andre the Giant and did it in kind of the They Live kind of posters style, and that's how they came up with their logo. Yeah, definitely heavily influenced by They Live. They Live's a great movie. Talking about the Matrix and waking up and being red pilled. Obey is the same thing, except with sunglasses. Brandog124 writes, he is in line for the movie, and he gets the guy with the head with his wrench. He's in line. That's right. Speaking of different terminology of the word line, but Rowdy Piper's best line from They Live. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of bubble gum. Duke Nukem also used that line, so a very, very memorable line from that movie. El Sanchez, 1984, writes, I'm a mechanic at Harley Davidson. I could get away with any denim. That's great. In the Elephant 5 fade review video, I talked about how those of us, I'm not particularly one, but those of us out there who have jobs working with their hands, they make the best faded jeans. Their jeans are, why? Because there's a lot of it's just the build up of life that builds up on, if you're painting, if you're doing any kind of physical labor, if you're out there, mechanics, because the grease, the oil, the paint, the dirt, all that stuff really builds up, and it really adds that extra layer of life in those jeans. When you look at that jeans, you can really tell what's been going on in that person who, in the life of the person who wore those jeans. Where, faded jeans are great, you get the creases and all that stuff, cool. But I think the next layer, if I were to come up with a scale of what the best looking fades are, of course this is all subjective. This is my scale. It doesn't have to be your scale. But when you've got the paint, you've got the oil, you've got the dirt, the stuff that doesn't wash out, it's really in those jeans. The repairs, those are like my top tier S rank kind of fades. At some point, maybe I should come up with a scale, and at the end of fade review, I will give it a Bahzad score. That would be kind of fun. Brandog writes, the best line from They Live is, the best line for They Live is formaldehyde face. It's a good movie. They use that line in Dazed and Confused as well. Yeah. The Hot Rod, that was with Andy Samberg. I don't think I've seen that movie. Okay. Would a Forever Black be possible? Yes. A Forever Black would be possible. I think that's what we should do when we come out with a new kind of Forever series, the new Forever Blue, and we should come out with it with a black and make those core collection. Loud Puck, the scene with Rainn Wilson throwing the wrench at the guy's face. The thing about Super is that it is violent. Like, it is, it's kind of unexpectedly violent. But definitely a good watch. A lot of people don't know about that movie. I think it's a fun one to show people. You know who else is in that movie? Lloyd Kaufman is in that movie. He makes an appearance in that film. He also makes an appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think James Gunn worked at Troma, and so he incorporates Lloyd Kaufman into some background work here and there in his movies. Peanuts and El Sanchez 1984 are both inquiring about the black denim that I ocean soaked last week. I got them right here. I talked about them a little bit earlier in the video. As you can see, I mean, they're pretty faded. I mean, from where they started, they're starting to look really, really cool. Another couple of more months in these, and they may just be perfect. But I would say that the one thing that I really noticed after the ocean soak was there was more kind of vertical kind of streaking here. And I guess that's because I was grinding the sand into the jeans. And that was like, it wasn't sand, it was coral sand. It was a coral beach. So like the sand was very gritty. It was a very heavy grit. And so it was taking off like a nice amount of like, black from the jeans. So they came out pretty nice, I have to say. Yeah. Ocean soak. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I don't. It's one of those fun things. I don't think it's a necessity, and I don't think it like really adds that a whole lot. But it's just kind of fun to do. And when you're going through the mythos of raw denim, put your jeans in the freezer, sit in the bathtub, shower with them, wash them in the shower with you. Ocean soak, like these are all just kind of fun things to try out. So do they all work? Do they do much? I don't know if they add that much, but might add a little bit. And at the end of the day, they also add a story. And obviously, you guys are asking about it, so it's definitely worthwhile to try, because you'll have a fun story to talk about. But yeah, I will get some proper photos of these done, and I will feature these in an upcoming fade review. Maybe as the Indigo Invitational kind of ends, I'll do a fade review on these, just to talk about my evolution of this pair and an evolution of black denim. You don't often see like heavily faded black jeans, and as you can see, I mean, this denim has faded quite a lot. So there's a lot of fading potential in black, and it's just something that I think we need to talk about a little bit more. Brandog124 writes, James Gunn did work at Troma, plus I think he wrote a book about Troma. Oh, right on. So yeah, a lot of people go through the Troma world. I guess they're very friendly towards independence and I like the Troma. I'm not an encyclopedia on Troma and how they work, but I've always admired the fact that they're independent. They do what they want. It's definitely a similar spirit that we share at Naked Famous Denim. We're not major corporate owned, and we just do whatever the hell we want. Like there's no like. You work at a big company, and there's like a team whose job it is to do like trend forecasting, and then they go to the design team and say, okay, here's all the stuff that you need to do, and then they do it and so on. And it's like the creativity isn't like there. I mean, sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. But it depends on the company. But like we do whatever the heck we want. There's no trend forecasting. It's like we think this is cool. The only thing we care about is like, do we, as us, like ourselves, are we impressed by this? Is this something that we would like? And if it is, then that's our gauge of whether or not you guys would like it as well. So, people, oh, you're crazy, you're doing all this stuff, it's so weird. It's like, yeah, so like we like it. That's all that matters to me. And you know what? It turns out that you guys like it as well. Like there's nothing that we have that hasn't, like even a slower item for us that we might have created eventually sells out. There's nothing that like we've particularly been stuck with. Maybe like a random size 27 or like a size 5.5 shoe, but like, yeah, everything goes. So, we've got a lot of fans out there who are certainly wearing, quote unquote weird jeans, but hey, man, we make them, and we're happy that we make them. We enjoy making them, and we enjoy that you guys enjoy them as well. Evan Kellner writes, were there any negative effects of the ocean soak? I heard they can smell a bit oceany. No. I mean, the only thing is that they get sandy, so you got to make sure all the sand gets out. But I guess I had, you shake them out, brush them. I had no problems with them. I mean, if they do smell oceany, just throw them in the wash after, and you'll get rid of that. Okay. How are Risa's jeans looking? Risa did a post on her personal Instagram the other day. Just a great denim outfit. Her Indigo Invitational pair, they're coming along. I think they need a little bit more time to be like, I guess, in the contention maybe. We are working from home, so it's not we're not as physical as we normally would be. L. Sanchez 1984 writes, so does it have to be saltwater, or can I go to Lake Ontario and get the same results? I think when it comes to the ocean soak, I don't know how much the salt is really like the salt from the salt water is really playing into it. I find that it's like the sand for me. Like when I go into the ocean soak, I'm in the water and I'm like, just grinding some sand into my legs, into the legs of the jeans. So I think that is more or less what is gonna make the results happen. I guess, yeah. So yeah, jump into. I have a buddy who I forget what lake it was, but he did his first like soak of his jeans, and it was an unsanforized pair by jumping into a lake and just swimming around with his jeans on. He just thought it would be fun. Didn't really do anything, but that's how he achieved his first, soak. He jumped in the lake, swam, then he hung him up to dry, and that was it. Suggestions on a thick flannel. Looking for a good thick one for winter that will last. Yes, let me show you two. Yeah, let me. So my production manager, I know a lot of people have been asking me questions about the flannels. My production manager just confirmed that we're going to be getting our work shirts in at the end of the month. So coming in very soon. This guy. Okay, first off, if you're on a budget, go to our sales section. There's one, I think, I don't know if it's in stock anymore, but the heavy Melton. Go to Tate and Yoko. Let me check out the sale section and then work shirt. There might be a couple in here, and if you want one right now, okay. Sizing's a little bit limited, but there is one called the Cotton Melton Charcoal. It looks like this, but it's a little bit darker. It's more like more charcoal color. It's $152 right now from $254, so great deal. We have sizes small, medium, large in stock. That is the best buy on the website right now. The triple twists, which I would have recommended, are all sold out. And then we also have the Cotton Melton in Army and in black, but only in size small. So if you want a great deal right now, check out the Cotton Melton Charcoal on Tate and Yoko. That's available in more sizes. Obviously, if you're small, then the other sizes are options. Best price, $152. But if those aren't for you, we've got this guy coming out. It's part of the fall-winter collection. I was wearing this in the Elephant X video. I had a lot of people asking about it. beautiful, beautiful, soft brushed twill flannel. It's heavyweight, it's beefy. This comes in a couple of different colors. I would highly recommend it. I probably will steal this sample and consume that for myself. If you want something that isn't so flannelly, you want something a little bit more solid color, this heavyweight brushed one as well is fantastic. Super soft and all metal buttons. So that's a key feature of our work shirts, that we do have the metal buttons. They're very nice. They're very durable. So both of these great options for you, and they're coming at the end of the month. They'll be available at Naked Famous Denim NYC and at Tate and Yoko. Electric Bamboo Glue too. For your easy shirts, how much shrinkage happen with those cotton shirts? The XL is right on the threshold for me threshold for me. Just wanted to be sure. They shrink a little bit. They definitely shrink a little bit. If you're worried about shrinkage, keep them out of the dryer or dry clean them. That's my advice. If you're really on the border, don't put them in the dryer. Wash them cold, hang dry, or send them to the dry cleaner, and you'll be fine. What was the corduroy one? Oh, let me show you that one too. Okay, the last previews for today, but these corduroy flannels. Look at these. These are crazy. Look at this fabric. Isn't that nice? Like corduroy and flannel in one. This is such a fall, like Wes Anderson vibe shirt. I'm really, really digging this. It gives me like American countryside kind of vibes. Or any kind of countryside. I was in Scotland a few years ago, and we were kind of in the countryside out there, and this just feels like that kind of vibe. Wearing with some kind of trousers and like boots, feels very countryside to me. And work weary, and like I'm out in nature working kind of thing. And this beautiful blue option. So we gotta have. I'm telling. I know I've said it before, but we got to get more photos of the shirts up. We're working on it. Coming soon. I know you guys here, at least on the stream, you get to see this stuff, but we got to get some more photos out there for sure. Oh, all right. Alejandro Javier Puedo Torres. I hope I said that right. Said that right. Saludos de Guadalajara, Mexico. I'm a fan. Thank you very much from Guadalajara. I'm here in Yokohama, Japan. I've never been to Mexico. I would really like going. I think I'd have a great time. I really want to, it's one of those, I've never been to Cuba. I want to go to Cuba just because Canadians can go to Cuba. That's the thing. And I feel like the whole world, like they're always like, when I go to the States, they're like, oh, you've been to Cuba? And it's like, Cuba is like the number one tourist destination for Canadians. Like everybody goes. It's all just Canadians there on holiday. And I've never been, but I want to go. I just want to see what it's like. And I know that Cuba is not Mexico. I'm just places I want to go in North America, or that hemisphere that I've never been to. That I feel like I should have, because I feel like every Canadian has been to Mexico. Not every, but a lot of Canadians go to Mexico. A lot of people go to Cuba. They go to Jamaica, and I've never been to any of those places, and I really want to go. Not just for a resort. I'm not like a resort stuff. Maybe Cuba resort stuff, but for Mexico, I want to go. I've never been. I've always wanted to go. Jose Rivera III writes, the vintage colors on those corduroys are fantastic. Yes, I'm a big fan. If my closet wasn't exploding with stuff, I certainly would be picking up more shirts. It's the other day we were out and we were looking at shoes, and I'm like, I just can't. I don't need. The fact that I work at home and I barely leave the house, it's just like adding stuff to my closet is to my already overflowing. If I didn't have stuff, okay, maybe, you need to have stuff, for when you go out. But like, I barely leave the house now, and so the thing I need the least is a pair of shoes. I've put a kibosh on shoes. Although I do have like 3 pairs of Yucatan. I have 2 pairs of Yucatan slippers because I work from home, so I wear slippers at home. And they're like shearling slippers. I ordered those. And I have a pair of shearling boots coming in, which are the most useless thing I've ordered in a long time. Because it doesn't snow here, and I don't need shearling boots. Anyways, I ordered them, so it's too late. I put that order. I'm obligated. I'm not. That's that. Riley O'Brien writes, Bahzad, other than heavyweight options, is there a particular jean that was more challenging to make? The more challenging jeans to make, okay, sewing, not like heavyweight jeans are a little bit more difficult than regular weight jeans in terms of difficulty. The real difficulty is trying to get custom stuff made, because sometimes the things that you imagine, the yarns or the colors or things like that, they just don't have them available. And then it comes to like, well, we have to develop those things, or we have to custom make that item. And then when it comes to custom making stuff, then there's minimums and things like that involved. And sometimes those minimums are really big. Like, for apparel, like if you're the Gap, custom is no problem. Like if you want a custom color, you're making 10 bajillion units anyways. It doesn't matter. It's like the minimum for you is nothing. But if you're a small company, the minimum for you to do something like that is big, because you don't have the customer base of a multinational corporation. Our customer base is niche. It's small. I think we have got a strong customer base. Don't get me wrong, but we're not the Gap. So sometimes the difficulty there is like finding a way to get the thing that you want made while balancing minimums, or maybe sometimes there's upcharges that you got to deal with. So that's the difficult part. Junior writes, go watch some Lucha Libre wrestling in Mexico. Absolutely. I want to go watch some Triple A live in person. That would be a lot of fun. Kenny Omega, the Triple A champion. Kenny Omega's got all the belts. He's just dripping in championships. Nice Canadian boy. Also wore our jeans once, and in a Instagram photo, he had a pair of the Ryus. I actually sent him that pair. I met him, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get you a pair of jeans. And I don't usually do that, but I'm if you're on my like top tier of like people I admire, then you might get a gift from me. An 80s wrestling collab would be great. Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Bret Hart. Yes, I would love to do a WWE like legendary wrestlers series. I've already have it planned out. Like I have it literally written out what those items would be. I think it's just a matter of time until we do it. So hopefully one day. Brandog124 writes, I eat those Packy ghost pepper chips, burnt my mouth and butt. LOL. Be careful with the spicy snacks. I have to say, the thing about the ghost pepper ones is that they're not tasty, and then you get the repercussions of spicy snacks. At least if they are tasty, you can somewhat justify some of the repercussions. But yeah, be careful. If you're not, the spicy snacks are they're a dangerous love, I have to say. Brandog124, did you mark out? I have a photo with Kenny, me and Risa and Kenny. Yeah, I didn't go nuts. I've shook his hand. I'm like, I'm a big fan of yours. We met him in Toronto. He was doing a Ring of Honor New Japan event, and when over the past couple of years, usually we spend like Christmas and early January in Japan, and that's before we were moving here. So I was going to see Wrestle Kingdom live for like a bunch of years been to a bunch of New Japan events. Every time we would come to Japan, if there was a New Japan event, I would go, and like I was a big Kenny Omega fan for a long time, and you know, I just watching his career, you know, skyrocket the way it has. It's amazing to see someone be so successful at what they do, and you know, they're not even at the top of their game yet, and they're already, you know, I would say that they're in the contention for best wrestlers of all time. You know, you're in that top 10, and you're still early in your career. So it's the sky's the limit. You know, let's see where this can go. Yeah, I didn't go nuts, but I was certainly excited to meet him, and we chatted a little bit on Twitter. But yeah, big Kenny Omega fan. Louise Cicada writes, Ninja Turtles jeans, if you haven't made them already. Believe me, I want to. We've actually talked to them before, and yeah, I don't know. They I think maybe our logo might have scared them a little bit. I think, you know, they're Nickelodeon. They're a little bit more family friendly. So I don't know if our maybe they thought we were something that we weren't. I'm not sure, but I'm certain at some point we can revisit that and try to get that going. But yeah, I'm also a big Ninja Turtles fan, so I'd love to get that done one day. Brandog124 writes, I met the Young Bucks very nervous, so Cody showed me a rip in his pants to make me feel better. That's pretty funny. I've never met the Young Bucks. I was the last chance they were doing a meet and greet at another Ring of Honor event in Toronto, and we went, but I didn't do the meet and greet. My plan was to make some fringe denim jackets for them. I wanted to do a denim jacket and then do like super long, like, you know, Macho Man Randy Savage type fringe and gift them to them. But I never got the chance. Well, I did, but I just didn't have time to make the jacket. But if I do get a chance to meet them again, I think I will try to make that happen. I think that'd be kind of, I don't know, maybe they would appreciate it, maybe not. I thought they might like that. So I do want to meet the Young Bucks. The last time, maybe not the last time we were in Vegas, but when AEW was first being announced, they had an event in Vegas, and Risa and I went to that event, and that was the event where they announced that Kenny Omega had joined AEW. It was a freezing cold night in Vegas, and I was sick, and I had like a migraine, and anyways, I was there braving the cold, and you know, Vegas can get cold at night. You know, it is the desert, and you know, it was, you know, Chris Jericho was there, Young Bucks, everybody, and like there was a small group of us, maybe, you know, 200 or 300 people, like maybe more, but yeah, we were there, and then afterwards, we ran into Chris Jericho in the casino, and yeah, so that's the thing about Vegas. It's like something you'll. I mean, obviously it was a wrestling event, but the most famous people I've ever run into were just in Vegas, just walking around. I once ran into Kevin Randleman. Kevin Randleman, who was he's passed away, but he was if I remember correctly, he was a UFC champion. He was in Pride Fighting Championships. He was the first person to knock out Mirko Cro Cop, and I was a big fan of Kevin Randleman. Holy jeez, he was part of that Ron Waterman, I think, Hammer House, you know, group of MMA guys. Yeah, Kevin Randleman. He would often dye his hair. He was a pretty cool guy. Ran into him, talked to him a little bit. Very nice guy. but unfortunately passed away. He was a great, martial artist, great practitioner, Kevin Randleman. UFC Hall of Fame, Kevin Randleman. That was early UFC stuff. Yeah, he has such a sad story. Man, he was a true gentleman, and a big respect to Kevin Randleman. He was one of my favorite fighters. Oh yeah, he was very explosive. Those early days of MMA were amazing. Mark Coleman's teammate as well. Yeah, that's right. Hammerhouse, I think they were called. Hammerhouse, something like that. But yeah, Mark Coleman, Kevin Randleman, that whole group of guys, they were very, very. They were very up there in terms of their status in the MMA world. Amazing times. Pride FC, great memories. Joey D writes, Bahzad, are pachinko parlors still around in Japan? Pachinko parlors are everywhere in Japan. No matter where you are in Japan, even if you're in the most remote countryside place, there is a pachinko parlor. I went to a pachinko parlor. There's 2 down the street from me. They are everywhere. There's 2 down the street, and there's 2 more a few blocks away. Literally, pachinko parlors are everywhere in this country. And there's some giant debate over whether or not they should allow casinos in Japan. I'm like, you guys already have pachinko parlors. I don't see what the problem is. So yeah. It's not the place for me. I went in once just to see what it was about and how it works. No idea. Put my money in, turned the little knob, my money was gone, and that was it. So that's my pachinko parlor story. Kevin Jr. writes about Kevin Randleman. His slam of Crow Cop was terrifying. No, man, the slams in Pride, Jesus Christ. Remember Quinton Jackson, Ricardo Arona? He power bombed Ricardo Arona. He power bombed him and knocked him out. That was the craziest slam of all time. One of my favorite knockouts. He power bombed him and then dropped a fist on his face. Oof, brutal knockout. Junior, I like how much cigarette smoke are in pachinko parlors. Junior, there's cigarette smoke still in restaurants here in Japan. You can, we were at a cafe the other day, and there's an ashtray on our table. Everyone's smoking inside. I'm like, I miss this. It's kind of funny because there's certain things in Japan where you're like, is it still the 1990s or the late 80s? And yes, it is, and it's great. We were in Okinawa. We were at this Mexican restaurant, Mexican kind of fast food restaurant. I forget what it was called, but it was around where the American bases were. So it was this basically an American mall. It was very catered to Americans, and it doesn't look like this Mexican restaurant had upgraded anything since 1972, and it was awesome. Red and brown everything. The menu was plastic signage on the wall with old photos. You ever see old cookbooks from the 80s and pictures of food? That was it. On the walls, and I'm like, I love this place. This place is amazing. They didn't upgrade anything, and they don't have to, because that place is awesome. And there's so much of that just still lingering around Japan where they're like, this is good. And I'm like, yes, this is good. Leave it the way it is. I enjoy it. Todd Hackett writes, I think you missed it way earlier, but is there a chance of the 32 on Super Heavyweight being re-released once more? I don't think so. Brandog124 writes, I met the Sandman in a gas station in my little village. Very weird, but they were running a show in the high school. Interesting. That's you'd be surprised where you run into folks, I guess. The Sandman is a ECW legend. Junior writes, Rampage had to slam him to keep from being submitted. That's right. Ricardo Arona had him, or was setting him up for a triangle choke. And I guess Rampage showed him how he deals with that. Oh man, those Rampage in the mid 2000s, man, what a fighter, what a fighter. Richard Meza writes, sounds like my local taco shop. Yeah, man. I there's something about like diners and old restaurants that I like anything old. Just give me an old, dusty, rusty thing. Pretty happy with that. Richard Meza about Pride FC. Soccer kicks to the head. Yeah, who was that? A really brutal one was Vanderlei Silva versus Yuki Kondo. And he just stomped the crap out of this guy. Yuki Kondo, interestingly enough, he is one of the most like that guy would fight anything. Like if you look at his fight record, I'm gonna look it up right now. I don't think a lot of people talk about him, but Yuki Kondo, Wikipedia. Okay, let's look up his. I'm sure he's got a Sherdog thing. This guy has fought everyone. He's 46 years old. I guess his last fight was in May of 2021. This guy is still fighting. Okay, he's 47. He's 46 years old. 63 wins, 37 losses. 63 wins. 63. Like, this guy has like 100 fights under his belt. He literally has 100 fights under his belt. Incredible. He's a fighter that I don't think a lot of people talk about. He fights a lot in Japan, obviously. Yeah, he was there in a lot of UFC events. But yeah, if you ever watch his fight with Vanderlei Silva, he got wrecked. That's a very, very brutal fight. But it just goes to show like the fighting spirit of these guys. Like the rules in Pride were crazy, and they dealt with it. And I mean, it was very interesting to watch. It's kind of like watching early UFC days where like the no weight class stuff. And Pride also had no weight class stuff every now and then. But it was amazing to watch. What was Keith Hackney versus Emmanuel Yarbrough? Was it Emmanuel Yarbrough? I think it was. Let me double check that. My memory of old old UFC and like MMA is amazing. By the way, these are. Yeah, he fought Emmanuel Yarbrough, and Emmanuel Yarbrough was like 500 pounds or something like that. He was huge. He was an American sumo wrestler. And Keith Hackney actually broke his hand, like pounding his head in. Brutal fight, but yeah. Don Fry versus Takayama, that is the fight that is pure fighting spirit. Like these two guys blocked punches with their face. They were like, there's no defense in this fight. 100% offense, full pedal to the metal. Amazing fight. Don Fry. I met Don Fry once in Toronto. Again, class act. Very, very. His mustache is amazing, by the way. Don Fry. He was in a Godzilla movie, Godzilla Final Wars. If you've ever watched that. Also, I think Gary Goodrich was also in that movie. There was a couple of MMA guys in that movie. Philip Floor writes, Vanderlei Silva was on roids. I think they all were on roids in Pride. I don't think they tested for anything. Junior Anderson Silva just knocked out Tito Ortiz in boxing. Yeah, I watched that. And then not Ricardo Arona. Who was it? I watched that fight. It looked like Tito had him, and then Anderson Silva, like always, just laser-guided punches, laser-guided strikes, took out Tito. I mean, they're at the age where, you know, they've taken too many punches, you know. It's like watching Ken Shamrock fight in his like later years where stuff that he would have. There was like a fight with Sakuraba where it's like Sakuraba gets like a jab in and he goes down, and it's like, it's they're just their bodies have taken too much. Their bodies have taken too much. So it's difficult in their older ages. They just can't compete like they used to. Don Fry is all old school man. Yeah, no question about it. He's an old school man, that's for sure. Don Fry and what's his name? The Predator. Don Fry and oh no, I don't remember his name. See, now I'm forgetting stuff. Anyways, Vitor Belfort. Yeah, Vitor Belfort versus Evander Holyfield. That was I don't know if that was a good call or not, but anyways, now it's gonna bug me because he was the NWA champion, and I just talked about him in another video the other day. Now I don't remember, and we were just talking about wrestlers in MMA, and he was. Why can't I remember? It's just my brain is going blank. Dan Severn, that's right. Dan Severn, Don Fry, those two. Oof. Real bad men. Real tough guys. Okay. The Gracie Hunter, Kazushi Sakuraba, one of my favorite MMAs. And one of my wrestler, MMA, everything. Kazushi Sakuraba is incredible. He would fight a grizzly bear. That's his fighting spirit is incredible. All right. Okay. Well, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. The rain just started again. It's going to rain all day. That's why all my plants are inside. Brought them in so they don't get blown away by the wind. I'm going to leave it at that. It's been a fun chat, fun hanging out with you guys here on the Naked Famous Denim live stream where we talk about denim and all kinds of stuff that you guys want to talk about. And I'll see you guys next week. It's been fun hanging out. Have a good day. Be nice to yourselves. Be nice to your friends and family. And like always, do something nice for somebody. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Bye, everyone.